Welcome to Fireside Frights. Our first story is She's Gone by Reddit user Brimpearl. She's been gone for 3 years. My little sister Sarah died by drowning 3 years ago in May. We had been on a float trip with my family, which consisted of Sarah, our dad, and Mom. Something happened. We're not exactly sure what. Sarah seemed to be doing fine. The water was only waist deep to her. She just went under and never came up. The river had taken her and knocked her out. By the time we noticed anything had happened, it was already too late. My parents were drunk on the trip. Till this day, they have never stopped drinking, blaming themselves for their youngest daughter's death. Sometimes, I wish it was me rather than her, so I wouldn't have to put up with their grieving process. Now, every night around 1 a.m., I am woken up by the sound of water running. We live in a pretty old house, so you can pretty much hear all the creaking and groaning of the house. Tonight, the water kept going. I heard footsteps outside my door. I threw a blanket over my head as the footsteps grew closer. Water was trickling down the hallway as I grasped myself. This can't be real. You're dreaming. I swallowed and heard the sloppy footsteps grow closer and closer. My door swung open and my blanket was ripped off of me. I screamed, or so I thought, but nothing came out. It felt as if I was being suffocated. My eyes focused in front of me to see Sarah, her hair pulled over her face, her skin pale and bloated, gurgling noises coming from her direction. I scooted back on my bed, throwing my hands over myself, and whimpered, This is just a dream. She's gone. If you have a story you'd like me to read, email it to firesidefrightschannel@gmail.com. Our second story is The House on Hallow Hill by Reddit user Joe the Pro 671. The house on Hallow Hill stood tall and dark, overlooking the sleepy town below. It was an old Victorian mansion with creaky wooden floors, musty curtains, and a large, imposing gate that creaked open and shut in the wind. No one knew who lived there or what had happened inside those walls, but rumors had circulated for years about strange noises, ghostly apparitions, and a curse that haunted the place. As a thrill-seeker and a horror enthusiast, I couldn't resist the temptation to explore the house for myself. So one night, armed with a flashlight and a sense of adventure, I crept up to the gate and slipped inside. The front door was unlocked, and I stepped inside to find myself in a dimly lit foyer. The air was thick with dust and the smell of decay, and I could hear the faint sound of creaking floorboards upstairs. Despite my nerves, I pressed on, eager to uncover the secrets of this mysterious house. I climbed the winding staircase, each step creaking beneath my weight. The higher I climbed, the more the air grew chill, and the more the shadows seemed to writhe and twist around me. Finally, I reached the top of the stairs and found myself in a dark hallway. There were several doors, each one leading to a different room. I hesitated, unsure which one to choose. but finally settled on the one at the end of the hallway. As I pushed open the door, I was met with a scene of horror. The room was large and spacious, with a dusty old 4-poster bed in the center. On the walls hung faded paintings of long-dead ancestors, their eyes following me as I crossed the room. But the most unsettling thing was the figure sitting in the rocking chair by the fireplace. It was a woman, or at least it had been at one point. Her skin was sallow and sunken, her eyes empty and staring. Her hair was matted and tangled, and her clothes were threadbare and stained. But the most disturbing thing was the way she rocked back and forth in the chair, as if she was still alive. I backed away, but it was too late. The figure had seen me, and with a guttural groan, it stood up and began shuffling towards me. I turned and ran, my heart pounding in my chest as I fled down the hallway and back down the stairs. As I burst out the front door and into the night, I heard a loud crash from inside the house. Turning back, I saw the gate had slammed shut on its own, sealing the house off from the outside world. I knew then that the rumors were true, and that the house on Hallow Hill was cursed. As I ran back to my car and drove away, I could feel the weight of the woman's gaze on my back, and I knew I would never forget what I had seen inside those walls. If you were frightened by this episode, please like and subscribe, and maybe tell some friends. Until next time.